Jason Billingsley to prison for the rest of his life after charging him with murdering tech CEO Pablo Lepere.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Welcome into the live. Welcome into the morning live. This is Trev from Travessence, and today we are going to continue with the reading of the book of Ecclesiastes. For those of you who are new here, a very special welcome to you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now, yesterday we read the book of Ecclesiastes 1 through 6. And today we are going to be reading chapters 7 through 12. Now, get your book Bible or your Google Bible, whichever one is closest at hand, and let us read together. Michibu is here. Good morning to you, my love. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great evening. It's morning for me. I keep having to remember that when it's morning for me, it's actually evening for you. Welcome, my love. I hope you're having a great afternoon down under. Right, we are going to be continuing the reading of the Bible. Now, let us there isn't much to say about the book of Ecclesiastes. But one thing we do know is that even at this point, the Bible is still referring to the Jews. That is clear that all the instructions are being given to the Jewish people. We hear the cries of the Jewish people as they implore their God to deliver them, to stand up for them, to help them to overcome the actions of their enemies. Hold on, I just gotta fix this. Or maybe I can put it like that. Okay, that's good. Oh, so so we are continuing with the reading of Ecclesiastic, where we get the spillovers from the Proverbs. These are wise words that we can all learn from and that we can all live by. Here in Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7, it says, "Surely oppression makes a wise man mad." And we can all agree with that. Oppression makes a wise man mad. Not just a wise man. Only a fool will accept oppression. Oppression will make just about anybody mad. Because who wants to be oppressed? And with oppression comes the loss of dignity. And who want to lose their dignity? All things with priceless is here. Hey sis, what's up? How are you doing? Good to see you. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. I don't know what's going on with my thing this morning. Hold on. It is just not behaving right. Okay. I wish I could have it left in one position. Oh, Miss Priceless, when you gonna have live, my love? When you're having your next live, talk to me. Talk to me. Of course, yes. Would be my absolute pleasure. Because I usually miss out on people's lives when I scroll through YouTube. I stop at the first open gate. But tell me when you're gonna have your next live so that I can so that I can be there. Or text me when you having your own your live. Once I'm not at work, I'll definitely be there. Because I don't know what happened to YouTube. YouTube, for the last few days, the only people that I got notifications from are like JY. I ain't seen your notification for nobody else. The only person I got notifications from for the last few days, last 2 weeks or so. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I don't get notifications. I don't know why. But we will continue. The support and the love is always there, my love. All right, so come on in now, guys, and let us do the reading. Oh, at 12 a.m. Oh, talk to me. You are what? 5? Oh, you're 5 hours. You're 5 hours ahead of me. Cause I am on Eastern time. So if you're 5 hours ahead of me, then that would be 12 a.m. for you. Would be 7 p.m. for me. But if it's like this weekend, yeah, you're not gonna see me. Cause I work this weekend, the night shift, so I go to work at 7 until 7 in the morning. And by 9, 10 o'clock, I'm fast asleep until 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. But when I'm off from work, that would be a great time. Oh, okay, so okay, I'll be off Monday, so that could be a good time. All right, well, keep me up to date. Let me write it down right here for me. Hold on, baby. Let me write it down right here. Let me write it down right here. All things must priceless. Live on Monday. She is 5 hours. Yeah, I gotta write it all down so that I gotta write it all down so that when I look in my book, wherever I go, that little book goes with me because I gotta write everything down so as not to forget. All right, so there we go. Where that is that. Let us move right along into the reading. I sincerely appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now let's move on to Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Let's begin. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. Really? Why would the day of death be better than the day, excuse me, why would the day of death be better than the day of one's birth? I'm not sure why the Bible says that or why the author thinks that the day of death is better than the day of one's birth. It's kind of strange. But it says a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. Really? Okay. I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was by the laughter that the heart is made better. But the Bible says otherwise. The Bible says, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. Hmm. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. May not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not enquire wisely concerning this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? In the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of adversity consider God also hath set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that persisteth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? It is good that thou shouldest take hold of this. Yea, also from this withdraw not thine hand, for he that fears God shall come forth of them all. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. For there is not a just man upon earth that doeth good and sins not, and take no heed unto all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. For oftentimes also thine own heart knows that thou thyself likewise hast cursed others. All this I've proved by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off and exceedingly deep, who can find it out? I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman. Wow, good God. You all hear that, people? And the Bible says so, Mighty God. I hope you all are listening. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26. The author says, the author, hold on, thing. The author says in Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26, and I find more bitter than death the woman. What has a woman done to this author? Why this author says he finds more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hand as bands. Whosoever pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Good God. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I definitely have to read that again. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman. So to this person, a woman is worse than death. A woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whosoever pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeks, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Which yet my soul seeks. Let's read 27 again. Behold, this have I found, said the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul searcheth. So he continues to search. Whew, my word. But I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found. That one man that he has found, he says, one man in every 1,000 that has escaped the woman who he says is as death, worse than death. My God. So one in every 1,000 men he has found that has escaped the snares of a woman. Behold,
This have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one, to find out the account, which yet my soul seeks, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Verse 29, and this is the last verse of Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Lo, this only have I found, that God had made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. Here ends the reading of Proverbs, not Proverbs, why I keep saying Proverbs, of Ecclesiastes chapter 7. We are going to move right along. And one thing that I want to say, in the Bible, a lot of times when the Bible refers to man, it means man and woman, but it just uses man as the umbrella term to represent humans. But when the Bible wants to specifically speak ill of women, it makes sure it says woman. So you have no doubt. There is no ambiguity. You know exactly who it's talking about. But then, what do you expect from a book where the patriarchy is rampant, where men are considered to be close to God and women beneath his feet? Let us continue. Let us continue. Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Let us begin. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 says, Who is as the wise man? And who knows the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom makes his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment, and that in regard of the oath of God. Be not hasty to go out of his sight. Stand not in an evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever pleases him. Where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say unto him, What doest thou? Whosoever keeps the commandment shall feel no evil thing. And a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. Because to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore, the misery of man is great upon him. For he knoweth not that which shall be. For who can tell him when it shall be? There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither hath he power in the day of death, and there is no discharge in that war. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. All this have I seen, and applied my heart unto every work that is done under the sun. There is a time wherein one man rules over another to his own hurt. And so I saw the wicked buried, who had come and gone from the place of the holy. And they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This is also vanity. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil, 100 times, and his days be prolonged. Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before God. There is a vanity which is done upon the earth, that there be just men, unto whom it happens according to the work of the wicked. Again, there be wicked men, to whom it happened according to the work of the righteous. I said that this also is vanity. Then I commended mirth. Then I commended mirth, because a man hath no better thing under the sun than to eat and to drink and to be merry, for that shall abide with him of his labor the days of his life, which God gives him under the sun. When I applied my heart to know wisdom, and to see the business that is done upon the earth, for also there is that neither day nor night sees sleep with his eyes. Verse 17, and this is the last verse of Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Then I beheld all the work of God, that a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun, because though a man labor to seek it out, yet he shall not find it. Yea, further, though a wise man think to know it, yet shall he not be able to find it. Surely man is not able to find out how the earth was made. Man has absolutely no control over how the earth and everything else under the sun was made. Trust me, if man ever find out how to make the earth, can you imagine? Everybody would be making their own earth to go live on. But there are just some things that remain hidden from the knowledge of man. Here ends the reading of Ecclesiastes chapter 8. We are going to move on to Ecclesiastes chapter 9, but let me check in with the live here and see who has checked in. AG oh my God, my love. AG, what's up? Tell them to hit the like button over time. Tell them to hit the like button, AG. Thank you so much. AG, what? Quia, Andrea is here. Wonderful, Andrea. Andrea, say you early riser. Yes, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. But I'm only getting the health out of it. I don't know where's the wealth and the wisdom. Somebody got to give me the trick. Somebody got to tell me the trick about that. It says it makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, but I don't know about all of that. But I'm still going to be waking up early in the morning. So let us continue. I don't know what to do with this thing. It just keep on losing its rightful place. And that is because, we need to leave it that place. That's the problem. When I move the thing from place to place, you must not give up. All right, there we go. All right, let us continue. AG, you left Virginia yet, or you're still over there? Wow. Unlike when me I see people probably driving. Ain't that something? But let us move on to Ecclesiastes chapter 9, my friends. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 says, "For all this I considered in my heart, even to declare all this, that the righteous and the wise and their works are in the hand of God. No man knoweth either love or hatred by all that is before them. All things come alike to all. Therefore, one event, therefore, all things come alike to all. Oh, there is. There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked, to the good and to the clean, and to the unclean, to him that sacrifices, and to him that sacrifices not. As is the good, so is the sinner, and he that sweareth, as he that feareth an oath. This is an evil among all things that are done under the sun, that there is one event unto all. Yea, also the heart of the sons of men is full of evil, and madness is in their heart while they live, and after that they go to the dead. For to him that is joined to all the living there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. Mighty God, that is true. A living dog is better than a dead lion. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead knows not anything, neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love and their hatred and their envy is now perished, neither have they any more a portion forever in anything that is done under the sun. Go thy way, eat thy bread with joy, and bring and drink thy wine with a merry heart, for God now accepts thy works. Let thy garments be always white. Why white? Now talk to me, people. Why white? Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity. Let's read that again. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity, for that is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor which thou takest under the sun. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might, for there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happens to them all. For man also knows not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. This wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city, and few men within it, and there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. Verse 15. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. Ha! Aha! Wisdom is better than strength, but certainly nobody's going to listen to your wise words if you are poor. The rich man seems to have a voice more than the poor man, because the rich man could be saying whatever he wants to say. He has a platform, he has a voice. Yes, Andre, me I go to work tonight. Not today, but tonight. But me have a whole lot of things. You know, say on Friday I got a lot of things to wrap up for the day, for the week. So I got to start out early. So I got to do all the reading early and then see if I can fit in a live before I go to work. I might be able to, I might not be able to, but we will see. Yeah. AG is all the way in South Carolina now. Wow, AG. While I was sleeping, you are beating the roads, huh? Good Lord. But you be safe now, my brother. Be safe on them streets, and don't forget to get your rest. Don't forget to get your rest. Let us continue. Wow. Okay, there we go. Let us continue. As I was saying here, a wise man, verse 16 of chapter 9 says, Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. And I was elaborating on that because it's absolutely true. The rich man, his wisdom is heard because he has a platform, and everybody wants to listen to him. The poor man, though, is despised already. His words is not worth anything. He looks raggedy. Nobody wants to be beside him. He is stinky. People see his poverty before they see the wealth of his knowledge. And so a lot of people do not stop to acknowledge the wealth of a poor man's knowledge, but they will stop to listen to whatever a rich man has to say. The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Verse 18, and this is the last verse of Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroys much good. Here ends the reading of Ecclesiastes chapter 9. And Ecclesiastes, my friends, has only 12 chapters. So we are going to finish reading it today. And then tomorrow we will start with the Songs of Solomon. Ah, that's interesting. Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor. So doth a little folly, so doth a little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor. Let's read that again. Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor. So doth a little folly. I think a word is missing there, but so doth a little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left. Yea, also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him, but he already a fool. So what you mean by his wisdom faileth him? And he saith to everyone that he is a fool. OMG. The Bible is so funny sometimes. Verse 4 said, if the spirit of the ruler rise up against thee, leave not thy place, for yielding pacifies great offenses. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an arrow which proceedeth from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low places. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. He that digs a pit shall fall in it. Let's read that again. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 8. He that digs a pit shall fall in it, and whosoever breaketh an edge, a serpent shall bite him. Whosoever removeth stones shall be hurt with it, and he that cleaveth wood shall be endangered by it. If the iron be blunt, and he do not whet the edge, then must he put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. Those words in the Bible really goes without saying. Goes without saying. If you dig a pit for someone, you will fall in it. If you sharpen the edge of a sword for someone, you shall be struck by the same sword. If you sharpen the edge of pieces of wood to use as weapon, you shall be struck with it. That means do not set snares for other people. Do not trick other people and lay away at them to harm them, because it shall turn around on you. Verse 10 says, if the iron be blunt, and he do not whet the edge, then must he put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. Surely the serpent will bite without enchantment, and a babbler is no better. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself. The beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous madness. Hmm. A fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him. Who can tell? A fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him. Who can tell? The labor of the foolish wears every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. What are you saying there? You don't understand what I just said a while ago? Let me read that again from verse 14. A fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him. Who can tell him? The labor of the fool worrieth every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princes eat in due season, for strength and not for drunkenness. By much slothfulness the building decays, and through idleness of the hands the house drops through. A feast is made for laughter, and wine makes merry, but money answers all things. All right, wanna hear this. You all hear what Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 19 says. A feast is made for laughter, and wine makes you merry, but money answers all things. And you all know that that is true. When people tell you it's foolishness, like, oh, it is better to be poor than to, it is ain't better nothing to be poor. Because everybody wants to be able to afford the basic necessities in life. You want to be able to afford your food, clothes, shelter. You want to be able to afford stuff. Society is set up for some people to have and have and have, and others to be the have-nots. Because you see, once there are have-nots, the people who have feel more worthy and more powerful. Their voices are heard, and the voices of the poor is suppressed. Nobody wants to be poor or be so poor that they cannot even afford the basic necessities. Now, the Bible says money answers all things. That is true. You can't go live out in the street, but you will if you don't have money to rent a place or buy a place. You can't eat just grass and stones. So you need money to buy food. In the Bible here, most of it, even back then, even though it was farming was a pervasive profession, people still had reasons to purchase stuff because there were some things that they didn't have that they had to trade for. So money really does answers all things, good and bad. Verse 20, and this is the last verse of Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, And curse not the rich in thy bedchamber, for a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. Really? A bird? Let's read that again. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber, for a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. That's interesting. When you go in your bedchamber, don't talk secretly about the king. Don't say bad things about him because the bird will carry it away. I don't think they mean a literal bird. But in those houses, I believe there were always servants. I guess right here they're referring to the servants as the birds. I wonder if that's where the term comes from, where they say a little birdie told me. In Jamaica we say that term, a little birdie told me. I wonder if that's where it originated from. Because we know the birds can't talk and birds can't bring news. But if you are talking and think you are talking privately in your bedchamber, in the privacy of your home, the people who will hear to take back the news would be quite likely your servants. So the Bible says, curse not the king, no, not in thy thoughts, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber, for a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. Funny. That ends the reading of Ecclesiastes chapter 10. And we will move on to Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Really? If your bread is on the waters, it's going to melt. Give a portion to 7, and also to 8. For thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. If the clouds be full of rain, that they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the tree fall towards the south or towards the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be. I don't know how many of you are here, but I remember when I was growing up, we used to gather together in our little living room, and we would play card games and draft games and all kinds of games. And we would play and play and play, and sometimes you fall asleep right there because you were afraid to go into your bed because you were afraid to go alone. I used to be so deathly afraid. I was afraid of the dark. I was afraid of being alone. And so I would lay there on the floor as we play the games, and I would fall asleep right there. And when I wake up, I would be right there on the living room floor all by myself. Everybody would be gone to their bed. And then my mom would say, wherever the tree fall, there shall it lie. You go stay right there. So here it's from the Bible. Wherever the tree falls, there shall it be. Verse 4 of chapter 11 of the book of Ecclesiastes. He that observes the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. As thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child. Even so thou knowest not the works of God, who makes all. You know not the way of the spirit, These are the limits of man that the Ecclesiastes is outlining here. The limits of man. You know not the way of the spirit. You do not know how the bones grow in the womb of a woman who is with child. All we know is that you are pregnant. You know, we have absolutely no control. Nowadays, with modern medicine, there are a lot of conventional treatments that will take care of any anomalies that is occurring in utero. But basically, we have absolutely no control. The only control we have over continuing the human race is the actions that we commit to start the process. That's the only time we have control over it. And I'm not talking about the possibility that people can abort, but the only control we have over the making of another human being is the action we take to start the process. After that, we don't know how the bones are formed. We don't know how the blood is formed. We don't know how any part of that human being is formed. Winsome is here. Winsome, what's up? I am at Ecclesiastes chapter 11, Winsome. Chapter 11 and verse 5. And we're going to read that again. As thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of a woman that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of God who makes everything. In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thine hand, for thou knowest not whether shall prosper either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good. Truly, the light is sweet, and a pleasant thing it is for the eyes to behold the sun. But if a man live many years, and rejoice in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. All that comes is vanity. And we know when the Bible talks about the days of darkness, we know what he's talking about. The days of your darkness are the days of your death. After you die, the Bible says after you die, you enter into the land of perpetual darkness. Let us continue. Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou that for all these things God will bring thee into judgment. Verse 10. And this is the last verse of Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Therefore, remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity. Childhood and youth disappear into adulthood. And one thing that I've always said, I say to my children, you have more days to be a child than you have. You have more days to be an adult than you have to be a child. So enjoy your childhood, because by the time you get to 18, society tells you that you are no longer a child. You are now an adult. And from 18 until 80, you will be able to do as you please with nobody coming in your way except prosper or prison, one or the other. Let us move right along. We are on to Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and this is the last chapter of Ecclesiastes and the last chapter for the reading for today. Now, I hope you have been following with me with your book Bible or your Google Bible so that you can take notes, because the Bible is one very interesting piece of literature, I tell you. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun, or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders, oops, let's read that again. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, when the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun, or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and the dyer shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. Or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. It is talking here, guys, about death, the process of death. It is talking about when the silver cord is broken, the silver cord is loosed, and the golden bowl be broken. And I believe that was a tradition. That was a Jewish tradition for sending off the dead, where the silver cord is loosed and the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. That's some kind of a ritual. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, said the preacher, all is vanity. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he gave good heed, and sought out, and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. The words of the wise are as goads, and as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. And further, by these, my son, be admonished. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. That is so true. Verse 13 said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Chapter 14. And guys, you all know that when the Bible says this, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. This is talking about the Jews, right? Yeah. We are still in Jewish realm. This is their order, their commandments, their instructions, and everything that is being said so far is being said to the Jews. Okay? And even the author of the Ecclesiastes, when he talks about man or woman, that's what he's referring to. Okay? Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Verse 14, and this is the last verse. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every sacred thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Here ends the reading of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and here ends the reading for today. Thanks to you all for coming into the live. I sincerely appreciate you. And those of you who are such sincere fans and come into the live every morning, you are the real OGs. I sincerely appreciate you all. Now that is where we are going to end for this morning. Thanks to AG and Winsome and Andrea, Michibu, all things Miss Priceless and Overton and everybody else who came into the live. And more so, those who will come into the live, come in to listen to the reading afterwards. I want to say thanks to you all and thanks to all of our new subscribers to the channel. We sincerely appreciate you. Now, that's where we are going to end for today. Now, go ahead, guys, and have yourselves a great Friday because mine has begun. My Friday is already an hour and 45 minutes old. All right. So go ahead and have yourselves a great day, guys. And I will see you all later. Until next time, my friends, this is Trev from Traversing, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, guys.